Oh, it's so cold during the forms of almost right near to the iceberg, or to be more specifically, Sherbet land as it is. Hey, what is up ladies and gentlemen, it is I am the one and only Tiana the Frog here, and I am from the likes of the Maxi Toys videos of course. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3 for the Game Boy. So last time we have basically just managed to fully accomplished everything in terms of Mount Teapot as far as the second world of the game goes. And today for this episode is the fact that we're going to be moving on to the third world in this game, known as Sherbet Land, not to be confused as Sherbet Land from Mario Kart 64, as well as Mario Kart Double Dash. So either way though, yeah, let's get this thing to it, in course number 14. And yes, this is actually the correct order by the way, because either way though, that usually represents the forms of the correct number sequence of courses. So, but either way though, yeah, let's get to it with the first level in Sherbet Land. And basically, as I said this before, this world kind of feels like an optional world if you manage to able to actually skip this world entirely. So, but either way though, and also it contains the optional boss here and there as well, which we'll talk more about that until whenever we're able to get on to the later portion of this world. So, but either way though, let's get this thing to it. And oh no, these annoying birds are back. So in addition to able to go through probably the most trickiest level to start with in terms of Sherbet Land as it is, so in this case we have to avoid those crumbling platforms and to top it off annoying birds, and thirdly there are some bottomless pits, so in this case I accidentally died right there. So in addition to those kind of things, as I mentioned earlier, there's also going to be a lot of emphasis on leaps of faith sometimes, which I know it's not too difficult, but it's just that for those who have a first time playing the game on the 3DS version or the 3DS eShop downloadable version, well, chances are you're gonna get died a lot, assuming if you keep on using save states most of your time. But either way though, let's not worry about this too much. Yeah, let's obtain that garlic, so just in case I can able to just, you know, become Bowl Wario once again, so I can assure to that, so oh boy, this is gonna get really picky for this section right here. Because not only that, if I somehow got hit by those annoying bird enemies, it'll give me a knockback, which is always kind of annoying and a nuisance at the same time. Yeah, I'm might as well able to ignore the dragon power-up, because it might seems pretty daunting and useless in this level though sometimes. Although it might be pretty useful though, even then the only drawback with this is though, is that you can't get coins if you defeat enemies though, so that's the only drawback to that, so oh well, no big deal, but at least we can able to continue things on for this point. So, but either way though, today's day is of course the 9th of February today, in this case in 2021, and it looks like we've only got about next week until this special event will happen during the course of our channel, specifically the Maxi Toys. And it looks like it's going to be our 10th anniversary next year, so even then though, because chances are, well, we should probably go ahead and celebrate that until next week, on next Tuesday, according to the forms of, as what it said, on the calendar. So that's why, that after when I'm done with the fourth world, I might actually take a break for this game for a while. Well, it wasn't until whenever we get on to like, the next Thursday or something. But either way though, let's not mention about that right now, because, well, we reached to the very end of this level. And I'm sorry for that little belchiness going on right there, just because, well, usually I just had lots of drinks. So either way though, just to keep myself hydrated, so anyway, that's that level done. Now let's move on to the next level, which, as you can see, is a double dotted level. So this means, yes, it's 2 exits that we need to find. So, in this case, here we go on to course number 15. So, and of course, every once in a while, there's going to be some ice physics. So, yeah, best of luck for this part, because otherwise you will end up getting slipped off most of the time. So, yeah, something's worth knowing for. And, I suppose another thing I should probably explain about this, although I'm pretty sure that most, Toys has already mentioned about this ever since in, well, Knight's Journey of Dreams Let's Play so far. They did obviously already mention about the forms of how the fact that Sonic is no longer gonna be voiced by, well, usually, I'm speaking backwards, haven't I? Oh yeah, Roger Craig Smith, he's no longer gonna be voicing Sonic for forever now, which is kind of sad, honestly, because that actor was actually really good. Even though some people might disagree, but even then, no, he's actually not that bad for a voice actor for Sonic. But it's kind of a shame that he's not going to be able to, well, leave the entirety of the Sonic's voice cast. Even then, though, the last time he did a voice actor for Sonic was actually buddy films of Mario and Sonic. Well, actually, was I wrong? Alright. Anyway, the last time he did done in terms of voice acting department, it was actually like, let's just say, Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 or Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020. Ah, no, there goes the coin. It's gone all, clip for the, like, boundaries or something. I have no idea. But anyway, though, but I'm very curious to see what Sonic's new voice actor is going to be. Is it going to be the exact same voice actor as we heard from the Sonic movie? Or is it going to be someone else? Well, at least it wasn't until whenever we get into the later portion of the year, specifically the majority of 2021, then we can probably guarantee to see what's going to be up next for Sonic's voice actor. Because either way, though, that it seems kind of strange to how the fact that, well, obviously, Ryan Drummond did done the voice actor for Sonic since 1998, since Sonic Adventure, and then all the way up to Sonic Advance 3 in 2004, and then basically in the next voice actor for Sonic stuff, mainly with the forms of the four kids voice cast, mainly with the forms of like Jason Griffith, ever since in, well, 2003 in Sonic X, and all the way up to, well, I would say Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, but I don't feel like trying to count that, just because usually for Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, all they did is basically they just managed to reuse the exact same voice clips from Sonic 06, but, I don't feel like trying to count that, but usually it's there for the sake of the forms of his recognizable voice from the past. But either way, though, we'll point things out whenever we get into it in a second, because as you can see, I'm gonna go to a different pathway, because obviously that's where the secret exit leads us to. So either way, though, because chances are there's gonna be a lot of emphasis on activating a lot of those switches in this place. Especially noticeable about the fact that if you really want to go for a normal exit and a secret exit, well, by all means, you can able to actually search on those specific stuff. And there's a secret exit right over there. But of course, we can't go to this door just yet, because obviously we do still need to activate that switch. And that way, we can able to actually just to see how safe it is to able to go across now. So either way, though, yeah, that's pretty much about it in terms of this level. So yeah, it's not too hard, especially it's not harder compared to the forms of how it does it on the very first level in Sherbet Lands, that's for sure. Just because there's going to be a lot of emphasis on bottomless pits every once in a while, but usually that's how challenge usually goes. So anyways, let's toss the 10 coins into that specific, you know, the gold door over there, and we should be good to go. And of course, I might as well hit back onto the exact same level again, but now we're going to be doing the normal exit. Thankfully, the normal exit is actually not that far from here, so unless if you're able to try to avoid a lot of hazards here and there, so either way though, we'll go back and, of course, trying to do course number 15 again, so yeah, that pretty much sums it up for this for the most part. So either way though, we'll try to get rid of most of these enemies and trying to get coins every once in a while. But either way though, that's how I usually roll. So, and yeah, ever since the forms of 2003, that Jason Griffith managed to done the English dub of, you know, the Sonic's voice ever since in Sonic X all the way up to Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, where I did usually already counted that, but obviously they managed to reuse them from Sonic 06 voice casts or voice clips or something like that, which I'm fine with. But then, until in 2010, they did obviously introduce Roger Craig Smith as the voice actor for Sonic, ever since in Sonic Free Riders, all the way up to Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 for the smartphones, which I'm pursuing if I recall correctly. So, but either way though, so yeah, that's pretty much all that goes basically. So I wonder what's going to be up next for Sonic's voice. So, but even then though, let me know in the comments, because even then though, I'm very curious to see what's going to be up next for Sonic's voice. Even then, that ever since in 2010 all the way up to 2013, that Tails' voice actually did last for long, like Kate Higgins. which also she did done the actual lyrics for, well, you know what I mean, Jump Up Superstar from Super Mario Odyssey's lyrics and all that stuff though. And, yeah, that's how it usually goes for what I think about it. And, yeah, that's how it goes basically. And by the way, speaking of hedgehogs, you notice that I did manage to able to punch certain of those hedgehog enemies, as you saw, for about a few seconds ago. Normally you weren't able to jump on them, right? Well, they're pretty prickly, so as a result, don't jump on them, assuming if they're trying to able to actually just to spite at you. So instead of jumping onto them, so you have to specifically just trying to able to do a arm punch until you're able to actually just to deal with these hedgehog guys. So, but either way though, well, not to be rude for Sonic's sake, but either way though, we'll skip that conversation for now because we're gonna have to. Oh, nicely got hit by that particular item block that contains hearts, of course. So either way though, the normal exit is just around here, and that's pretty much about it in terms of course number 15. Not too hard, as long as you need to get used to with the actual ice physics every once in a while, but usually that's how this goes basically, so not bad. And I believe for the majority of the treasures, as far as Sherbet Land is concerned, Sherbet Land does contain 3 treasures, presuming so anyway. So in this case, course 16 is where the first treasure comes in this world. In this case, treasure number 4 is what that usually locates into. So either way though, oh wow, that was actually really close. And why can I just do that? But either way though, we'll just go ahead and deal with it. But anyway, and also, this level also contains another secret exit as well. Well, to be more specifically, this level is a 2-daughter level, so that means that, yes, it's gonna have not only 1 exit, but 2 exits. So, I think we should probably go ahead and aim for the secret exit first. So, but either way though, because that's how I usually roll when it comes to the forms of certain Mario games for sure. Well, few exceptions, mind you, which is the majority of the 3D Mario stuff. Well, usually for 3D Mario stuff, I just simply just go whatever one mission I go to for the majority of my life. But either way though, that's for discussion for another day. But either way though, we'll go ahead and obtain Bull Wario, so just in case we do still need to require bigger Wario formations, mainly with either normal Wario or any kind of forms for Wario, except small Wario, because again, in order to actually activate the treasure chest, you have to like become big in order able to actually just to activate the treasure chest, because if you're a small Wario, then it will not open. So either way though, that's all the things I have to say. So, oh god, this bit is going to be ice physics, so we have to watch out for that. So basically, just carry the key all the way up to this specific point here, and that way you get yourselves the next treasure. And I believe the treasure is actually usually contains inside is the actual shield. Pretty swell. So that's it for that, and now let's go ahead and leave this area. So either way though, we'll grab the hearts just in case, and why did I just do that? Oh, that's inconsistent, but oh well, at least we got back into the forms of the very beginning of the level. But again, if you somehow die, and then if you manage to able to grab the treasure, well, if you grab the treasure before you die, thankfully your treasure will save. So even then though, you don't need to worry about just trying to able to go for the some stuff all over again. So that should be good, because otherwise, if that will be the case for the majority of the time, then it'll basically become a little bit tough and difficult, if I do say so for myself. Unlike certain, well, let's just say, ah, dang it, I didn't make my leaps of faith after all. Unlike the certain new Super Mario Bros. Games that you lose your star coins every time you die, and then obviously it kicks you back out of the world map, and that could be also say applies for the, well, just any other, well, I have no idea what I'm trying to explain about this right now, because it has been like a couple of hours since I actually managed to mention about this. Alright, in here, this is where the secret exit is. And before we get into that, I need to obtain Bull Wario once again. So hopefully I should be able to protect myself without dealing with any kind of damage whatsoever. So, but either way though, you found this hidden block, and then if you jump over for this other side, then you'll get into the secret route. completely filled to the brim with 16 coins to be more specific. And then if you go continuously all the way to the right, then, well, in addition to trying to deal with this ducky-looking enemy, we also get ourselves the secret exit right here. So, yeah, it's not too hard for able to find, not only for the normal exit, but also the secret exit as well. Honestly, the hardest part about this level for me sometimes is with ice physics alongside with those very annoying enemies from the very beginning of the level, you know what I mean, when it comes to likely getting, not only the treasure to begin with, but it's also trying to deal with them within ice physics, so... Yeah, you see what I mean right there? But, oh, you gotta be kidding me. I was gonna able to finish them off, but somehow I just went too late. Oh well, no big deal. But at least, we've only just got, the treasure anyway, and plus the secret exit as well, so there's no need to worry about that specific stuff. And finally, I did manage to make my, leaps of faith jump right there. So yeah, that's all comes together for the most part. So, I suppose there's another thing I could possibly try to explain, but honestly guys, there's not much else I can able to actually try to mention about that stuff, because obviously that, since then we've only just got prepared for our 10th anniversary next week, which should be exciting, and hopefully by that time we can able to actually still carry on making videos by that point. So, obviously we're still doing quite well, but nowhere near as like, incredibly successful, unlike certain, YouTube videos out there. But apart from that, it's decent. So either way though, we'll, talk more about that until when Maxi will able to mention about that, whenever you're able to actually get into that biggest presentation ever, so... And also, this level kind of reminds me of the same exact level as in, the previous level that we did done, except the fact that usually the secret exit is actually in the earliest point of the level, whilst in the normal exit is actually further ahead, so... Now of course, why not? I'll grab the Dragon Wario hat just in case, or the power-up if I like to mention that. So, but either way though, we'll, activate that switch, so that way it creates a whole bunch of blocks of platforms, and also more platforms, to pretty much lead us to the goal straight away, so... And it looks like I haven't usually got that much coins though, which I only got about 18 coins, so... Yeah, there's no point dealing with the actual, the bonus games from now on, because if I could able to get 100 or more coins, if that serves to be the case, so... Anyway, so let's move on to the next level, all the way up to the right, which apparently I went onto the wrong number order, but regardless of such though, it only happens once, so, but even then though, hopefully by that time we'll get into the proper order into it at some point in the next video, at some point on this first day, so don't worry. So anyways, here we go on to course number 18, as opposed to 17, because I'm pretty sure course 17 is actually likely on the top left corner of the world map, I'm pretty sure. So, but either way though, let's go and deal with this stage anyway, so... And I think this stage also contains a treasure as well, but it does require a bit of backtracking here and there. Mainly with the forms of keep on switching between those different switches here and there, so that way it makes it pretty obvious for a certain, obvious answers when it comes to the forms of trying to able to explore certain places in here and there, which will become stable in the future Wario Land games for sure. But usually, don't get me wrong, I actually enjoy those specific stuff though, but usually, relatively speaking, that's what I can usually go for. So yeah, I'm quite surprised that we're almost nearly at the halfway point in terms of Wario Land 3, so far for the sake of this Let's Play, because, well, it's pretty obvious that it still usually uploads certain videos of this during the course of Tuesdays and Thursdays every once in a while, so but either way though, I cannot even believe that we went through those specific levels quite fast. Although, the only world exception being the forms of Mount Teapot, because I can assure to you that Mount Teapot is actually one of the longest worlds of the game, just in my opinion, just because of how the fact that you have to do a lot of things at a time. So, but either way though, I honestly don't mind about the long, lengthy levels at all, so but either way though, we'll take it as a good factor. Well, I have no idea why I'm truly saying it for this point right now, just because, well, as you can see, I'm just still practically gonna concentrate for when it comes to, like, platforming and all that stuff, though, especially ice physics involved and all the other jazz, so... And now since we activate that switch, as you notice, that means we can now able to grab that key that I've recently found. So hopefully we'll backtrack for a bit, mind out for that thwomp, because again, you instantly die if you touch any of these sides of the thwomp, so keep that in mind. And hold the key, and we need to take it all the way back to the very beginning of the level. And what's good about this is that you can able to crouch while carrying the key, like in some situations like here, you can able to actually crouch and then walk if you managed able to grab the key, if you're still holding the key I should say. And that way you would be able to actually go ahead and get another treasure. So even then, what's inside in this treasure box? And it appears to be like a genie lamp. Get it? Because of the reference to something related to Aladdin? Yeah, that pretty much can be something, alright? Alright, that's that done, and now let's go ahead and continue the level as normal. So even then though, because, well, now we just need to deal with the actual, the level as normal, so I've no idea why I said that twice, because again, not much else I can honestly try to talk about, aside from the fact that, well, we've only got about, I would say, 3 days left until the Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury will be releasing on the Switch until the next 3 days. And let me tell you, I'm still so excited for that game. Although, mind you, I'm pretty sure that some toys else already mentioned about this, ever since in Knight's Journey of Dreams, basically, about the fact that, usually when it comes to the actual, the game's length, when it comes to the forms of Bowser's Fury, it will take about 3 hours to complete, which is not that long compared to the forms of any other 3D Mario games at this rate, but it usually becomes more accurately a double package game or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but at least I can able to still enjoy myself with the actual Bowser's Fury mode once that game finally comes out on the forms of, you know, 12th of February. And in fact, good news is that there is no delays, which is thank heavens for that, because if it does delay, then otherwise I'll blame on that stupid virus, which is pretty... Oh no, I forgot about these guys. I hate them. Usually they just send up a projectile right back at us, and then, well, it becomes unpredictable at times, which thankfully I did manage to survive at the end, so, but even then, no kudos to me. Even though we're missing Treasure E, but that's fine, because the next treasure I'm going to be going after is on course number 17. Which, as I said, course 17 is usually going to be on this particular spot over there. So I have no idea why I just seem to do a misordered number, which it can be a mistake for certain Let's Players out there, but usually I totally get it, so... Oh gosh, we have ourselves the most devastating hazard of all of everything else for this point. We have a thundercloud. Every time you stand right underneath that thundercloud, basically that thundercloud will able to send down the lightning bolt down to the ground, and you have to watch out for that. So, in fact, that actually reminds me of something related to the new Super Mario Bros. Boss fight, you know, with the original game on the DS. You know, with the forms of Lucky Thunder. For that particular boss fight, it's actually kind of similar to that particular thundercloud looking hazard that we have to avoid. So yeah, it's kind of similar, except the fact that obviously the biggest difference is from there is obviously that we need to just try to able to run away from it as opposed to dealing with it. So, but anyways, the reason why we're going into this room over there is that after we enter this door right here, in addition to giving ourselves 3 invincible blocks, which contains a coin, as well as, well, of course 10 more hearts, but also a Bull Warrior power-up, and of course the key. So even then though, and yes, this is the reason why that I say that this world does contain 3 treasures, so... And oh boy, this can be pretty tough though, especially noticeable how the fact that, well, you're just going to avoid a lot of hazards here and there, including bottomless pits, annoying birds, and also to top it off, these thunderclouds that we do need to avoid at all costs. So, hopefully I should able to do this just right. Even though, thankfully though, most of these levels go down very, very quickly, unlike, long, lengthy levels from the likes of Mount Teapot for sure. Well, usually I just can't say that for the sake of time, but either way though, mention more about that until whenever we get on to the future worlds and beyond. So, but either way though, we'll go and leave it to that. If you're probably wondering what's in that room I just went out from, it was actually contains a midway point, so there's nothing else to say about this for the most part. So, anyway, let's bust out these more blocks here and there. And the good news about the key though is that you can able to deal the amount of enemies if you manage to able to. Oh my goodness gracious me! We'll take a hit. Because thankfully, whenever we get hit, then we can able to obviously get Jet Wario of all things. So at least we can able to hopefully try to grab it, assuming my jumps doesn't screw up. But if you think that we're gonna be safe from here, well, we need to deal with this particular mechanical moving platform again, ever since in the second world. So hopefully we'll try to able to use that while we try to able to grab more coins from there. So that might be seems the case at all. Actually, let's go here and then keep on jumping until it gets to the up arrow sign, and there we go. And from here, let's see what treasure we can get in here. I'm not exactly sure what that item is supposed to be for, but either way though, let me know in the comments. So, there we go. So far we've got 6 treasures out of 15, so naturally speaking, we've only got about 9 treasures to go, so even then though, and it's also worth noting for that we've pretty much guaranteed to almost reach at the halfway point in terms of, well, Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3. So yeah, I'm very surprised about that specific game length that we've actually went through. So, and of course, before we get on to the forms of Wario Land 2 and Wario Land 3 and Wario Land 4, and even Wario Land Shake It, aka the Shake Dimension, it will be an entirely different story though, just because those games can be a lot more lengthier than this is, so. But don't worry, we'll get to those during whenever it's due time. So either way though, we'll swim downwards and try to enter this door. And hopefully, after avoiding these little fishy enemy right here, then we'll pretty much leave the level as it goes. So even then though, yeah, pretty awesome. And of course, if you manage to complete that level, and also say it applies to I would say the 16th course, I'm assuming so, that it pretty much leads us to the boss. So, but again, the boss fight is actually very optional though, unless there's actually a cool reward if you manage to deal with this optional boss fight, which we'll show it off during at some point whenever we make it there. So either way though, let's move on to course number 19. In this case, the last level in Sherbet Land for sure. And hopefully without having that much trouble in this world though, well, the only time exception being in forms of the very first level of this world, because seriously, the first level in Sherbet Land can get pretty tough at times, especially you have to deal with a lot of, you know, leaps of faith here and there, and all the other jazz, so, but either way, there's nothing else to say about this. And then if we hit in here, another 100 coins. So, pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. Especially noticeable that since after all I've got 100 or more coins, that means I'm also able to do a bonus game at the end. It seems to be more specifically that we haven't played that much of bonus games, I don't think, for the sake of the majority of this world so far. Mind you, it's because of how the fact that usually I just concentrate on harder things, and also we keep on getting a lot of victories on that luck-based minigame, or the luck-based bonus game after all. So, chances are though, I'm probably not going to complain about it too much though, I don't think, but still. Alright, so we're just going to have to, like, keep on going downwards, so just in case we could able to get, well, not only more 10 hearts, but also just see if what's beyond below that. So, but I don't think there's anything else to say about that, apart from, no matter what though, I'll grab the Ball Wario just in case, even though despite the fact that Jet Wario will able to help out for the majority of the underwater sections, but I'm just going to do the hard way. So, also, taking a notice from Super Mario World, we got ourselves these Pencils of Doom. So, yeah, that's something we definitely need to avoid at all costs. So, but either way though, we'll be able to leave it to that. And also, before we continue things on, I'll grab some more coins just in case if we're about to double those up during the course of the bonus game. So, hopefully that should be the case though. So, either way though, let's go and swim back up. And, actually, let's grab these 3 coins from here just in case. But again, there's not much else I can honestly try and say in terms of Sherbet Land. Although, again, it's more likely the optional world of the game, unless if you're assuming if you're able to ignore that completely. But if you want to, again, if you really want to 100% everything, such as I do, then if you really want to find that world to be interesting for you, then you have to find a secret exit in, of course, the second level in Mount Teapot, or to be more specifically, level 8. So, of course, number 8, as far as I like to call it that. But anyway, let's go and swim back up, or swim up, and try to avoid those hermit crabs in case they don't get in my way. And, hopefully, without having that much trouble, I don't think. But I digress. And of course, before we face off against with the optional fights, then we have to deal with this guy, which I'm not a big fan of. But here we go, almost to the optional boss fight, which appears to be known as the Penguin. Yeah, that's his name, the Penguin. All you have to do, that basically you have to jump on his head 3 times. However though, there are 3 different phases to deal with this Penguin boss fight. The first phase all you have to do is just jump on his head at least just once. The second and the third phase, basically he now has a spiky helmet on top of him. And basically you have to strike on him on his back, and then jump on his head twice, and then basically that's all you have to do here. And that is the reward if you manage to defeat the optional fight. You get yourselves about 15 lives, which thanks to the forms of that another item that we haven't discovered yet, which appears to be the 3 up hearts. So yeah, that's pretty awesome reward. Especially noticeable that if you really want to max out your lives counter, well, by all means, you can able to actually just keep on farming more extra lives like these. So yeah, that seems a very interesting reward, as I said this before. But anyway, before we end off this video, let's go and take care of this this bonus game before we end off the video for the sake of time right there. So, oh, we're almost there, but yeah, let's do one more. Oh, nice. I'm feeling very, very lucky at this point today. Especially noticeable that we've now seemed to max out our coins counter once again. So we got about 999 coins from that. And that should brings us to 5,000 or more so far. So I think we're pretty much almost there for our coins counter at the moment. So that way we can get ourselves a better chance for able to actually get the best ending or the perfect ending of the game. So yeah, that should be exciting. So either way though, and that pretty much takes care of the forms of Sherbet Land. I think that world doesn't go nearly as long as Mount Teapot used to be. But oh no, a really great length indeed. Although despite I did die at least once or twice during the course of the first stage, but whatever. It all usually counts for that anyway, so yeah. 3 worlds down and only, well, let's just say 4 worlds to go through. So I suppose we should probably end things up here. So join me next time on Let's Play Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3, is that we are moving on to Stove Canyon, the, let's just say a lava-themed world, basically. So I'll see you guys until on Thursday. Later, fellas.